were talking a lot about curiosity. Whenever you're choosing something for yourself, or whenever you're making it, you're usually curious about it. You try to figure out what's more important. There's a drive behind it. That is the key whenever you're choosing your career as well, because that is something which you're going to live with for the rest of your life. So you need to have some level of curiosity for it. Without that, the choice would be more like imposed on you, not your own choice. Either some social pressure, or you're following a crowd, or someone just told you that this is the best way, and you just went with it. But if you choose it out of curiosity, if you have struggled, if you have dig deeper into it, then it's much more sense. Then it's completely your choice. That is what I will talk about today, because that is the thing which gave birth to as well. Because most of you think that I was born 5 years ago, but AI was actually born back in 60s, already there, because the research going on. So how it happened, I can tell you a little small story. In 60s, US and Russia, they were trying to go to space. There was a space race. And they were investing a lot of money. Who will end up on moon first? The same race is happening still now. The difference is that back in the days, it was the race of engineering, it's the race of software. So they were able to go to moon, but then they realized that it's really hard to stay stable on the moon and create a whole laboratory. They want a lot of research there. They want to go to Mars and further off base, but it's really hard to stay on the moon. So then they decided that it's better that they send machines over there. First, they started sending machines which they were controlling from Earth. And this was in early 2000. I realized that they were limited. So then they started doing more research. And then they decided that it's better that the machines can make decisions on their own. So there they started developing these autonomous machines, and hence AI. So now it's commercialized. You see a very small of it. It's commercialized because they need data to make it better. The more people use it, the better it gets. So ultimately, race is still the same. The narrative just, and it was all out of curiosity. They're very curious what's going on in the universe. They think there are a lot of unlimited resources still in the universe. They want to get there. Race is still, narrative changed. I will bring you back to the topic which we were discussing a while ago, which is choosing career. So back in the days, I have two pictures in front of you. One is structure. You can see a path going all the way. The other one is all over the place. There are questions. It's more a mind of an explorer. That is very defined. That is mapped. That is how the curriculum used to be. That whenever you will go to school, you will get a syllabus. You will know that today you are starting. This is your journey, and after a year, you would have learned these things. It's very structured. Everyone goes through it. But then at the end, there will be people who are on the top. There will be people at the bottom. But biologically, everyone is equal. Mindset, it's the game of mindset. Here is more of an exploration path. You can choose it yourself. For some, getting over there, they take a longer route. For some, getting on the top, they can just go through in the middle. It's completely up to you. It's your own path. You develop it yourself, and you get there yourself. The difference in the past and now was the access of knowledge. In the past, there were no YouTubes, there was no GPT. So access of knowledge was limited. You will read the books, you will read through them. There was a limited curriculum, and that was it. But now, if you ask me a question, I will take out my phone, I will go to GPT, I will quickly check what you want, and I will give you an answer. answer. I will quickly learn within a matter of seconds, and then I will give you an answer. So, and I will take out phone only if I'm curious. If I don't want to learn, I would choose not to answer. I will choose to just move on. At the end of the day, it's curiosity, it's my drive, which is pushing me forward. And that is how I think we should also develop our curriculums. Schools are there, they're very important. They give you structure. But I think to succeed in today's world, the knowledge from the school is not enough. You need to develop your side skills. You need to understand your kids, yourself, what's more important, what kind of knowledge you need, what kind of skills you may have, what kind of capacity you have, what kind of competencies you have. Everyone is different. For instance, for me, something which drives me is a problem. For someone else, it might be money. Someone else, it might be books. Everyone is very different. For someone else, it might be a team game. For someone, it might be a solo play. So it's very important that you understand what drives you forward, what makes you curious, what turns on the light bulb in your head, and that pushes you forward. And the moment you understand that, you understand what you need to do next. I think a little bit. Let's go. Likely switch to this one. I'm skipping a few things. This is the key narrative which I want to put forward today. So back, whenever someone would say, I don't know, they actually meant it because they didn't had the access to the knowledge base. But now, I think the mindset should be, I don't know yet. Because that's the real case. You don't know it, but you know it. You can just take out your smartphone, you can press a couple of keys, and then the knowledge is right there at your desk. And that is what AI is doing right now, generative AI. You can go to GPT, you can go to Gemini. I'm sure you learn a lot in your business through AI. I'm sure you learn a lot in your work field with AI. So either it's research, either it's profession, either it's entrepreneurship. If you use AI, generative, you can learn really fast. Back in the days, you had consult, you have to go to teachers, you have to go to different bookstores to buy books. But now knowledge is right there in your hand. You define the path yourself. It's the only difference which you have is the shift mindset. You need to convert I don't know to I don't know yet. And that changes the complete narrative. But then the last presentation as well mentioned that AI, GPT or everything is just another tool. It's nothing big. It's just like you find an axe or a hammer. You just need to know how to use it. It's just like driving a new car. You need to first understand and learn how to use it. With AI, it's very much the same with generative AI. I have two examples in front of you. If you go to AI or generative AI, and if you just write, help me get IT, a very vague statement, it will not give you an answer. It will not give you a complete answer. But if you give it a structured question, I'm 17, I like tech and design, give me 3 starting paths and a 30-day plan. Very structured. You're telling it a timeline, you're telling it where you stand right now, who you are, and you're telling it what you want. As long as you have a very structured approach, you will always get a very good answer, very complete answer. And it's not just with AI. If you look at it in a very normal space, in a very social space, you're having a conversation with the other person. As long as you have a very clear message, you will get a very good response from the other person. Well, it's the same case with the AI. As long as you give a very clear, structured question, you will always get a very clear, structured answer. If you give a one, you will get a answer. So important part is that before interacting with AI, you need to have a very clear idea what you want. You need to have your thoughts, you need to have a clear plan, and then you'll get a very good answer. You have a question, please?
You showed two ways, one is a structured way,
Yeah.
and then for example, right now we have this structured question we are asking ChatGPT or Gemini.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking how to do that in a structured way. If you want to go from A to B,
Yeah.
we have some things that are defined.
Yeah.
And it takes us to what you call maybe position, let's say.
Yeah.
And then we have
Your goals.
Entry or exploration type check, trying multiple people.
Yeah.
Would it be possible that in that mode you might be forced to be viewed that well because you have structure? And right now, asking a structured question, actually the opposite approach.
Yeah.
And that is helping us to be aligned with it.
We'll go to the previous slide, which you are mentioning. It's this one. I mentioned, so when I was about this slide, I was mentioning how the curriculum used to be. In schools, everything structured, and that's how it is still. That used to be good enough. Getting a degree is good enough. It's not good anymore because the pace of the world has changed. You are thrown into unknown every now and then. You're thrown into a situation bound to make you confused. And you are supposed to find your way with all the confusions in your head. You're supposed to take a breather. You're supposed to structure your thinking, and you're supposed to keep moving forward. For that, if you are coming from a structured, pre-mapped curriculum, which you studied for 16 years, it would be really hard to switch your mental model. But if you have trained your brain to be in an unmapped situation and able to get out alongside a mapped situation, then you have trained your brain with a new mental, which will help you fit in the current situation. Did I manage to?
I get the point, but I was saying like talking
Yeah. Yeah.
we have to have a approach.
Yes.
Which will help us to make a clear.
Yeah.
Get the learning going, and then we have another kind of approach where we try this, and then they are done with the trying.
Yeah. That's experimentation. But even when doing experimentation, even when you design an experiment, you have at least two things. You have right now might be zero, and you want to have at the end, right? And then you're devising a plan. You start reverse engineering. If you don't know, that's how your brain works. The effort will be a lot. But if you do smart way, if you do a structured approach, if you figure out which are the gaps first, if you take a breather, take a step back before you start executing, you should take a step back, and if you structured your approach, you get a very, very better. Yeah, sometimes that's true. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, you are still in a school manner, but you have been told you have to take many decisions.
Yeah, of course.
Then you know what are the
but those has to be a more like conscious approach. You need to know what steps you have taken. You also need to have some kind of idea that this red flag, this might be red flag. So in our engineering technology, we say there are known knowns, there are known unknowns, and then there are unknown unknowns. As long as you know that you're dealing with an unknown known, you are still structured. Yeah, there are question marks, but you're still structured. Yeah. As long as you're structured, you are more aware. As long as you're aware, even though you fail, you would know why you failed. And next time, next time you will shift your approach. And that is exactly the same thing which works with AI. If you want good results with generate AI, you need to structure your first. Even engineer. So there's a lot of this discussion. Engineers will go obsolete, but that's not the case. Engineers just need to upgrade themselves. This was discussed in the previous panel discussion as well. That as an engineer, you upgrade yourself. Start thinking in patterns. Earlier, when I used to work, I used to have a very different timeline of doing work. If there was a talk, I would have done it in, say, 6 days. Now, with a structured approach, with AI assistance, I can do thing in a day. I'm probably going through the same process, but then the parts of certain things are much faster now. And I would say AI is just like a car. So when you first get a car, you get a manual, or you need to learn how to drive. It's the same thing. You need to know how to drive AI. And the first step is to structure your thinking. Take a breather. Don't jump into it. Of course, it's a tool. It's a very powerful tool. It can get you a lot of things done in a really small amount of time. This presentation is an example. I did it in minutes. And if you go here back, I would never been able to do such good presentation. But now I had the thought, I had the mind, and it's structured. I just put it, and then AI make it really beautiful. What should we go there? So powerful tool. We just what's the first to use it. Communicate clearly. That is something which I mentioned. That is key to any interaction. Either it's human to you, or whether it's human to AI. You need to communicate very clearly what you want. If you just I want to learn about IT, that's very vague. Even if someone comes to install and say, I want to learn IT, I would never understand what they mean. But the difference would be that would, as a human, I would be able to ask questions. So I will say, what do you want to learn? Are you just interested, or are you going to study? No, I will ask questions, but AI probably would not do it. AI would start giving you answers right away. And then one will lead to a wrong answer, and so on and so forth. You will be in a very misguided path. But if you have a structured approach, if you come to me and say, hey, I'm doing this, I'm stuck with this. I want to IT, so I can do this. Then I'll be able to guide you in a much better, much efficient manner. Same goes with AI. Number 5 is very important. Act responsibly. This is which we discussed in the previous as well. AI is a very powerful tool. It can give you a lot of information, but you need to be responsible of it. You need to validate it yourself. Everything may not be true at the end of the day. It's AI. It's the same story when you are having an interaction with any human as well. That whenever you get at this, you say, okay, X, Y, Z are okay, but this is something which I would still go home and verify. So it's the same story with AI, that it gives you a lot of information, but it's good to verify. So that is the future. So we had in the beginning, we get internet. That internet, we get phones. And now we'll get even small tools in the form of AI. GPT is just a very small example. It's a very basic tool. In my work, we are using a lot of other tools. A very small example is like I'm using a tool. So when I'm in a meeting, I don't notes anymore. I don't need to just turn on recording. It's a small tool. It takes all the recordings, then it transcribes it, and then I can talk to it just like I talk to GPT. It understands the full concept, it has the full transcript, and then it gives me the right answers, very structured way. That's just one example. There are a lot of tools out every day. It's hard to keep track. I spend 2 hours every week just to figure out which new tool came out, and I'm not keep up. So they will keep on coming up, but it's on us to learn them. It's us to figure out what's the right context and use them responsibly. This was just a short session. I would not extend it, but the idea is that we'll have a series of sessions in future. I would like to know what kind of sessions you guys would want, because I have heard different things from different people. Some would like to understand how to write code. Some would like to know how to use different tools. So there is a QR code. You can scan it. It's a Google form. I would be needing information. I send this in an email. It's a simple Google form. I will just ask few questions. You will be done with it within a minute. And then we can prepare sessions more for the use of everyone, basically. Email Mang. I have asked email address. नहीं, मैं पूछ लेता. Any questions? You had few questions about, I remember. Yeah.
फ्यूचर में ये आएगा और ये भी जान सकता है और ये दूसरे अपनी कलर यूज करते हैं.
It's a tool. So the question that will AI keep on growing, will AI keep on progressing, and will countries use it for wrong motive? And it's a free tool for anyone can use it. It's the same as a pistol. Anyone can use it. Some use it for defense, others use it for attack. So it's the same with AI. Countries are using it to achieve very good things, but then at the same time, they are using it to achieve very bad things as well. But it's progressing at an exponential rate. Like I said, that the new things which are coming up, even I am having a hard time keeping up with.
There is a saying that no matter what tool you're using, the human factor always is going to be different compared to person to person. That is why we are here in the kind of talking about certain things. How can we understand things better?
Yeah.
But I want to kind of just highlight the factor you probably mentioned, the judgment and responsibility. The human factor is actually one of the most important things.
Yeah.
Even though the tool is growing and will grow.
Yeah, that's true. Human factor is not going away and will never go away, no matter how much advancement we get in AI. And there is advancement in emotional AI as well. That's a very different thing. But then again, no matter how much advancement you get, the human factor will always be there. One very basic example is, so there's a company called Anthropic. They are among the leading companies in AI. Claude, their LLM is a big deal. They, I think 3 days ago, they put out a job ad for a sales director. And then I was wondering, they are leading AI company. They could have just created their own sales team. Why need a human? And to pay that human $370,000 per year. So you're right. Sales and the human direction is not going away. It is changing, but it is not going away. Yeah. And only people who can adapt will stay part of the journey. Yeah. You were going to say.
About, you mentioned that we need to be very structured in asking questions.
Yes.
And I'm sure you thought about it as well. Why use AI to show your questions to AI?
Yes, that's a very question. But even so, at the end of the day, you're still interacting with AI. Your very first instance still need to be very structured, and then afterwards, then AI continue. So, for instance, I am developing this small feature in my product where I'm using AI to create AI commands. So that's the same thing just mentioned, that you can use AI to structure your own thinking. But then your first thing, the first input is still coming from a human, just you. And that first input needs to be very structured. Afterwards, then you can the nitty-gritty into the deals and then break things down with AI. So with the instance of AI, you can do much better. And that is what I am doing still. I plan on all my tasks with AI. AI generates something, then I validate it, and then I tell AI that this is not right, do this, keep on iterative way. So you're very right, but at the end of the day, the first input still comes from you.
So maybe I can summarize it so that you have to know what you are asking.
Yes. You need to know the details of what you need to know. Yeah.
Yeah, I will just give you the references.
Yes. Because at the end of the day, AI is not real intelligence. It's mathematical formulas work together. They just understand the concept. The better you describe it, better results you get. We will maybe in future sessions we can have this kind of like a more detailed session of how to do prompt engineering. Then you can understand this better.
I'll put it there. But I
Yes.
think that we getting people a bit more with the tools.
Yeah.
Coming out and they use AI. Should be one good session.
I thought about it, but the problem is that the two coming out so fast that it's really hard to keep up. But we can start with small things. But I need to know. Good to know the context. That's why I have this forum. So if you guys can give me a context, then I can start sharing different things. Yes.
One thing regarding prompt as far as I have researched.
Yeah.
There is no such quote or academic kind of thing for prove that this person becomes such a prompt engineer. So it might be developed every day. It might be recently now. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But so how do you see that? How do you fall on that he's a pro at prompt engineering? He knows how to code. Does anyone think that right?
Yeah. There, when GPT came out at that time, Anthropic, they released a course which was purely for prompt engineering. I don't know if they still have it. It was free, and a very good course. That was where I understood that I need to be structured in my thinking. Now, whenever I'm recruiting personally, and if I need to understand if the person is good with AI, it's just through communication. If the individual is able to understand the problem and if just help me explain the problem to me, then that is when I understand that the person is able to structure his own thoughts. So that is my way of judging individual. But when I'm I haven't seen any vacations yet. It's not in resumes. I have not explored it myself. I can check it out and then I can let you know if I found one. Yeah. There are courses. I'm very sure of it. I can look it up and I can share them with you. Yeah. Please.
Regarding this certification, there was a brand where Hassan had some good thoughts about.
Yeah.
One of the things was the soft skills which cannot verify. I mean, people will put it there and probably would not make any effect.
Yeah.
Because this is information that cannot be verified. So probably this is that or if it cannot be verified.
No. But when it comes to soft skills, there are some personality assessments online, which are used by companies. When I was recruited, use those as well for me. And there are certain kind of competencies we look for when we are hiring people on a certain search job, and they are aligned with usage as well. But so far, at least, this like joining two worlds together, because personality assessments are used to analyze an individual for a certain position, but I have never done it so that I use those personality assessments to kind of align an individual for an AI job. But you still do those because if you understand what's the need of utilizing AI tools, then you can actually join those two together. One very interesting thing about jobs in AI is I think I've mentioned this to few came to the booth as well. There's a very big hotel group called Hyatt. They have 1,400 to 1,500 hotels. Their CEO gave out a post day before yesterday on LinkedIn. They have changed all the job descriptions which they are posting online. Job description will have requirement for AI native. So someone who do understand what is AI and are using AI tools. If that is a competency which you don't have, they're not going to recruit them. And that is not just for IT jobs, also for their business jobs, their sales jobs, and market jobs. So it's a big group making a big decision, kind of tells you the scope of this change.
I also asked this question because I've also like seen actually some job ads from big companies that are hiring from engineers.
Yes.
What is the profile for them? Then I know that maybe I'm not confident enough or not having anything back enough. So how do you judge that? Or how do you like this position? What
Yeah. What kind of answers you? No. Like this is something which I have not explored yet. I have just used my own judgment, but I have also seen these kind of jobs where we're looking for prompters, even in the marketing. And I know one individual. He's a colleague of my brother who actually hired in marketing as a prompt engineer. I can actually ask him what kind of interview process he had, what kind of requirements they were looking for, and he was able to get the job as well. So I can check with him and then let you know. But at the moment, I don't have the right answer for this. Yes. No.
I have a question.
Yes.
How to get around very agreeably to 150% nature of AI without compromising the technical ability?
Yeah, the question is that how to get away from agreeable modes of AI. Because GPT and other similar tools, they usually just agree with whatever you say. One way is structured thinking. That will help. But then you can also ask GPT to act in a certain way. So something we usually do is that I ask to play a devil's advocate role, kind of challenge my own thoughts, and then it actually start doing it. So you can ask AI to play a certain or do a role, and that is the tip I have been using for. There are prompts available, lengthy prompts, which you can use in the beginning of your own prompt to make AI work in a better way. That's something which kind of I'm doing my current kind of feature development. I have a list of prompts for different roles, where one role is an engineer, one role is a marketing person, one role is a salesperson, and then I define all the basics, this like profile of a salesperson before I give my prompt. So the thing is that whenever I write my prompt, it just extends it with that profile, and then I get a valuable answer. We started doing that for sales search as well in our company. So whenever we have a sales case, what we do is that we go on LinkedIn and check the profiles of individuals who we are going to have a meeting with, and then we do a role with Claude or GPT just to improve our own pitch. And we give them the profile that now you work as a sales director. This is your position. This is your experience. Blah blah blah. And then Claude or GPT start acting like a sales director. So you can think similar, get less agreeable answers, because then it gives very appropriate answers. Yeah. Any other questions? Wisdom? In what way? Wisdom is a very wide term. What do you mean? Maybe someone translate. You can go and fish.
this optimized saya habis di track mata ia
recently, I think it was day before yesterday, I watched this video. There's a new tool, you can Google it. It's called Hermes AI. So that's built a way that it can do in decision making. So what it's doing is, so with normal AI like GPT, Gemini, they are not decision making tools. You ask a question, you get information, you get some ideas. But Hermes can on decisions. It's built in a way whenever it's something, it learns. Next time when it's doing something, it knows that this is how it has done it. Keeps notes, it keeps profiles. So basically, it's trying to get to a point where it can make decisions. But that's a tool which I know.
But then the ethics come into play, those decision making, you can manipulate the state.
Yes, probably that's the reason why there are very limited tools in this domain. It gets very insecure, and it's not recommended because AI is not to that level that can be very secure. So that's why the decision-making power is not with AI yet. People are trying to create these tools. This Hermes is also like an open source project. The code is and everything is there, and you can deploy it on a closed environment. Start using it, and people are using it in a way that they give instructions and it's working round the clock to do certain things on its own. But it's not something which is secure. You're very right. That's why I think on the corporate level there are such available.
What do you mean by the
So one example is that I gave it instruction that every morning give me information about all the big tech giants, what they are doing, what they are releasing. Then it's completely up to this model side, which are important and use what is important. It will create a PDF and send it to me through SMS. But it gets smarter time because if I would that this is something which I don't like, then it will keep it in some place in a profile. It will keep on profiling me, and if someone else says, then it will start profiling that person, and then the next time it will create some based on my profile. So it is in a way decision basically. It is deciding based on the previous information.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think because if for example, GPS that if you turn it on that
Yeah. Yeah. It remembers, yes. Yeah. It's the point is that people are trying to create these tools better decision making. With GPT, it's limited. It also cleans its own memory as well. You can keep it to a certain level, but then it cleans it up as well. But then with tools, they keep track of a lot of other things behind. It's the same. I use a tool for programming. It keeps, and I can ask it to keep track of my coding patterns. Then it can start keeping track of my coding patterns, getting better and better with time.
Sometimes they might clear the section and you don't even realize that.
Yeah.
And also almost feel you're talking to a dementia patient because like you kind of pre-exist in your thing. It knows all the stuff that you're talking about.
But it's gone. It's gone. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. It might have done it already. We just don't know it. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah. Right. I think we can end here. Please go to the forum and give your views. I will send this link in email as well. And hopefully I get good responses and on the basis of those, then we keep future sessions. Yeah, thank you.